Hi, my name is Roger Harris. I'm the COO and lead software engineer at Hardly. Hardly is a platform of career development tools aimed at making life a little bit easier for career coaches, counselors, and anyone helping job seekers. How, you may ask? Well, let's imagine that I'm a career coach at a job center and I just got a new client, John Doe. John Doe is applying for a job and needs a resume, a cover letter, and maybe some interview practice. Let's say that. So first thing that I'm going to do is here's my coach dashboard where you can access any of the tools that you need to help John out. I'm going to go to the job application tracker and start tracking this job for John just because that'll make creating a resume and cover letter a lot easier. So I'm creating this for John Doe, and then I got some information over here. Let's see. He'll be a React software engineer at a place called Company here in Pittsburgh. And I'm just going to copy paste some of the qualifications. And just like that, I'm tracking a job for John. So what we can do now is go over to the resume builder. And luckily, John has provided his resume. So we're going to open that up. It looks pretty good. But one of the things we know is that this resume will be going through an ATS, an applicant tracking system. And if it doesn't have the right keywords and key phrases, he's just going to get rejected then and there. So we're going to go over here to match to job description. And since we just added that React software engineer job, we're going to import that. We can see that all of the information came in. And then we're going to come here. We're going to enhance this introduction. And what's this doing is the AI is looking at the resume, but also the job listing and pulling out all of the relevant keywords and key phrases and putting those into the introduction just to make sure that John gets through the ATS. So now that we've tailored his resume a bit, let's make him a cover letter. So we can come over here to the cover letter builder. We'll start a new one, not for myself, but for John, our client. And so you can manually input all the information about the job, about the candidate, but why do that when you are already tracking the job? So we're going to import that job data right there. We're going to use John's newly enhanced resume, pull in those skills, that experience, and that education. And then all we have to do is select 3 adjectives that best describe John. Let's see, he's creative, he's hardworking, and he's also pretty motivated. So now in the span of about 5 to 10 seconds, it's going to take all of that and create a cover letter. And this cover letter is going to have everything that a cover letter should have. It's going to have experience, education, why the candidate is qualified for the position, and it's going to explicitly ask for an interview, which is a very important thing to do on cover letters. So in the span of about, 3 minutes, we have tracked a job for our new client. We've tailored his resume to that specific job, and we've created a cover letter that he can then use for that job. That's pretty cool. But you know what? Once John gets into that interview, he's going to need some practice. So this is something that John will use, not necessarily the coach, but we'll show it anyway. So we just released this interview practice tool. So we're going to start a new session, just say session for John. And so what this is going to do, it's going to allow job seekers to record themselves answering questions, play them back, and let them see what they did well and what they did poorly. So this is a new session for our job. We can select a very common question. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself? And so from here, all John has to do is click answer question. And then the camera is going to come up. He can record himself. Let's just do a little bit of recording. And then, so now we can see that it played back. We can answer one thing I did well, wave my hands. What is one area I can improve on? Answer the question. And then John can score himself how he think that attempt was. I thought, it was fine. And then we can save that. And so as a coach, I can go in and see John's interview practice sessions, his different attempts. I can comment on them. And really, that's the main point of Hardly. Hardly is an incredibly collaborative platform. There are plenty of resume builders and cover letter generators out there, but Hardly brings those together with the spirit of collaboration. So those career coaches, counselors, working with those job seekers and making sure that they do, in fact, get the job. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour. Thanks.